Me, I can see some. Yeah, awesome, awesome. All right. So, I want to especially welcome everyone to today's webinar. I'm sure other people will be joining. I don't want us to keep waiting because it's already 5 o'clock. So, I just want to do some general introduction, and then I think we might just mute your, as you join, you could just mute your, this so we don't have some background noise. So, yeah. All right. So my name is Sam Scarlo, and I'm the CEO of Ashport. Ashport is a startup um, innovation hub here in Nigeria. We're based in Abia State, and we are running this startup accelerator program that's uh, kicking off from March, as you can see on my screen, to May. And today, we're going to be having this kind of introductory webinar where we are going to have to learn in general what startup accelerators are, how they could be a game changer for your startup, and how you could benefit from one. And we have today as our guest, Mr. Gary is our guest today. So Mr. Gary Jinks is a Silicon Valley investor who has captured over $250 million and launched over 1,000 global startups. We'll be introduce him very soon now to tell us why accelerators could be a game changer for startup founders, entrepreneurs, and those who really want to grow their ideas and make a mark in the world. So I want to welcome each and every one of us who are here in the meeting. And I hope you're going to get the best out of this as we prepare to make the final selections for those who will be participating in the accelerator program. So we're also taking note of those who are participating in this because that shows some eagerness to be a part of the program. So I want to hand over to Mr. Gary Jenks. Thank you, sir, for being available for today. Over to you, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you,
So,
Tom.
stop
You
sharing
need to
my
give
screen.
me permission to share my screen.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Am I good now?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
I can see me. I'm good. And everyone can see my slides, right?
yes.
Okay. Perfect. Let me get some of this stuff out of the way. All right. Well, I'd like to, thank Tom for reaching out and touching base with me. I think he's got a great thing going. We've been trying to bring together a strong community in Africa for the advancement of innovation. So he gave you a little bit about my background, but a little bit about me. So I've been creating innovation since before most of you were born. I've been building innovation since 1981 was when I got hired by corporate and running research and development. I've done everything from develop combat vehicles to lifestyle apps. Like he said, I've captured over 350 million through my GLJ group, working with companies to create innovation. In 2011, I launched South Valley Angels here in the Silicon Valley to fund innovation. And then 18 months ago, we launched Scale Up Stream, which is where all of you came to do this meeting so that the world can engage in innovation. Now, like you said, I've worked with over 1,000 startups. I helped open up Plug and Play. I helped open up Y Combinator. I've helped open up 500 startups, Draper University. These are all significant incubators, accelerators. Some of them you may have heard of. So that's my background. I've done this, and I'm honored to be able to work with those of you on here and to work with Solomon Ashtop on their program. So what I'm going to do today is just walk through some various fundamentals of startups, incubator, accelerator world. And if anybody has any questions, please talk. There's not very many slides. It's mainly to allow everybody to engage and have an open discussion. So those of you that have been doing this for a little while probably have seen something like this. So what I'd like to do is break down the fundamental life cycle of a startup and what that looks like. Now, if you've gone out and Googled startups or anything like that, you've probably seen things like idea creation, bootstrapping, seed stage, market entry, Series A, VCs, angels, institutional funding, all these kind of words. For simplicity's sake, think about it in this manner. There's the preparation phase, which I suspect most of you today are in this stage. When you get done with this stage, you're going to go to the validation stage. Some of you may be in this stage, which means you've launched your idea. It's out now. This stage right here is going to be probably about 18 months long in general. Then after you get past that stage, you're going to go to the growth stage. So this is led by the preparation phase. When you're done with that and ready, and what that means is you can do this. You understand what the opportunity is that you're going after. You have a plan to get there. You know what it's going to cost. You can communicate it intelligently. And that's not only to investors, but that's to investors, partners, potential employees, and those kind of things. And finally, you can demonstrate that you have the ability to do that. In many cases, that means you have created a minimally viable product, or an MVP, as we call it. And that doesn't necessarily have to be completed, but it shows that you and your team can do what you say you want to do. Once you've accomplished all of that, then you should be viable for funding from an angel investor. And basically, you want to have a strategy, a plan, show that you can do it. If you can do that, you'll get your angel funding, which will then take you into the 18-month window of validation. And what you're really trying to do here is prove that, arrive at the right product at the right price and scale. When you release your product here, you have what you believe is the right product. This 18 months will help you get to the right product based on customer, user feedback, and various other dynamics that go in that stage. And if you arrive at the right product at the right price, now you can go out for venture capital funding, raise the big money, and become the next Google. There you go. Now, once you get to the growth stage, that's simple. It's all about scaling and generating revenue. Now, we're not going to go into the details of various options for funding, but it is important to understand there's 3 stages and understand what's important in each one of those stages. Now, from there, the next basic is we frequently use the word ecosystem or startup ecosystem. Now, what is a startup ecosystem? Does anybody want to give that a shot? Does anybody want to answer that question? What is a startup ecosystem? Anybody have any ideas?
Yeah, anybody can just raise your hand or you want to say something?
Just go ahead and speak up. You don't have to be right. Just curious to get what people think an ecosystem is.
Startup ecosystem?
All right, no pressure. We can go ahead and move forward on that. So this is how we define it. When I say we, that's my teams and us here in the Silicon Valley. So here's an ecosystem incomplete. In the middle of this, there needs to be a physical location or an innovation hub. In the case of that's in Nigeria today as we speak. So that's that. Now, some of you may be familiar with things like AngelList or online. programs and so forth. But in general, when we're talking about an innovation hub, it should be regionally located and it should have a physical location. We'll talk about Scale Upstream at the end of this and how it plays in to what Alma's trying to do. Now, if for example, you need to have these three: investors, advisors, and services. If you don't have all three of these, you can't be an ecosystem successfully. So, for example, we helped open the first corporate innovation center in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia for Saudi Telecom, for STC. When we went to Saudi Arabia in 2016, they had innovation hubs and they had investors, but they didn't really have any mentors. That none of their mentors they had ever been in a startup. So they did not have mentors and they really didn't have any services. So all that happened was investors would fund a company and then it would fail because there was nothing to grow it because the investors didn't do that. So we had to come over there, create the innovation hub, which in that case was called Inspire You, and we had to train the investors, bring in the advisors and train them, and bring in the service providers. Now, in the case of Ashhoff, that's already in place, and it's going to continue to grow as we go forward from here. So they have the investors, they have advisors, and they have services. Now, beyond that, so if you have that, you have the basic core of an incubator accelerator. Now, from there, you'll bring in corporates. Corporates provide sponsorship. They acquire many of the companies that get launched. So they come in and provide those kind of things. Universities, that tends to be where many of the startups come from. Many of the entrepreneurs come out of there, and they provide value, just like government. The government can provide sponsorship. It can provide revenue. It can provide resources. It can even change rules and laws in order to support innovation. However, governments also get in the way a lot. But if you have, this would be considered a fully mature ecosystem, relevant and similar to what the Silicon Valley has, if you have all these players. Now, if we take a look at Ashpot, they see themselves as a hub. They bring the grain. You can read this as well. They provide the advisors for the strategic guidance. They provide programs like Salim said. He's getting ready just to kick off the accelerator program. And so this will be the beginning of the future. Now, you'll hear the term incubator and accelerator within these. I like the fact that Ashpot is calling themselves an innovation hub because in many cases, incubators, accelerators are used in the same context. It used to be that an incubator took an idea and incubated it into a startup. And then an accelerator would take that established startup and accelerate it through the validation phase and take it up to become a revenue generating, profitable company. So I think, innovator, accelerator, they have definitions, but they also get commingled. So an innovation hub we look at as being a center. So in the case of Ashpot, they are a physical, regionally focused innovation hub. Scale Upstream, the platform you're on, is a global resource for Ashpot to be able to communicate globally, work with us here in the Silicon Valley, and for startups that are and resources and investors that are interested in Africa, they can all engage through Scale Upstream so they don't have to get on an airplane and fly to Nigeria to be at the Ashpot hub. Does anybody have any questions or thoughts on a startup ecosystem? Okay.
Yeah,
so the next thing, go ahead.
Go ahead,
So
sir.
we have,
I think we'll just ask the question at the end of your presentation.
that's perfect because there's not a lot of slides. We can do that. Now, let's talk about entrepreneurs because there's lots of different types of entrepreneurs. So let's sort of break that down. For those of you that are sports fans, this will kind of make a little bit of sense. So you've got the new entrepreneur, which many of you may be. You're brand new, just getting started. You're sort of a rookie in the world of football. You're young, you don't have any experience, so you really don't know what to do or where to go, but you have a great idea. Then you have the experienced entrepreneur, which has maybe joined startups, worked with startups, maybe tried to launch a startup but failed, but they're continuing to go to the next idea. They didn't let that knock them down. They were able to get back up. They always stay engaged. Then you have the professional or the veterans entrepreneur. They've raised funding before, they've had an exit, they've been through it all, they know what to do. Now, so in this case, all of you are really competing for the same resources and the same funding. Because if you're in Nigeria, there's X number of investors, they're looking to do startups, and without a doubt, as you know, a professional football player, soccer player, is going to be better than a rookie or a new starter. And they tend to have the inside track on funding. Why? Because they're less risk. They've done it before. They know what they're doing. And this is where accelerators come in. Think of an accelerator as going to university. So how do you get going down the road? If you're fresh and new, you can do it on your own. You can build your own network. You can build your own ecosystem around you. You can go out and find experienced veterans. You can bring them on your team. You can compensate with advisors and build all that. And you can do it on your own. If you've never done it before, that is extremely difficult. The other thing you can do is join an incubator or an accelerator. What this does is it instantly plugs you into an ecosystem. It gives you all the experience necessary to do things. It gives you access to resources, to mentors, to opportunities, to investors, so you can get plugged into there. And just like going to college, if you wanted to be a surgeon, you would not become a surgeon on your own and practice on your dog and figure out how to do surgery. You're going to go to a university, become a surgeon, and go out and launch your career. The other way to do it is through corporate. As we showed on the last slide, corporates are becoming a much bigger player. In fact, many corporates are going out and they're finding the startups, and they can be a direct pathway to get acquired. Now, I know that there's differences in culture. For example, when I was working in Saudi Arabia, nobody understood why would you let a corporate buy your business. That to them, that was considered failure. Why did you sell your business? But if you're an entrepreneur, and a true entrepreneur, most true entrepreneurs don't want to run a business. They want to build a business. Corporates, the easiest way for them to move and to advance in technology is to acquire it. Google buys 1,000 companies a year. Same with Facebook. Their engineers don't develop everything they're doing. They buy a large chunk of it. It's easier to work with 1 million people, find the ones you like, buy them, and bring it in than to rely on your engineers to create the next big thing. So those are the 3 methods of what you can launch your business. I highly recommend getting involved in incubators and accelerators because they plug you into the ecosystem, they reduce the risk, and if it turns out that partway through you decide your idea is not as good as you thought it was, then there are likely to be other startups within that accelerators that you could join and be part of their team and bring value to them and bring your experience to help that. Any questions on that? If not, I'm going to go ahead and move on. The last slide I here have is Scale Up Stream. That's where you came out today. So Scale Up Stream is, like I said, it's a tool for global scale so that you can work with people around the world. And it's built to give entrepreneurs more power. It encourages more early stage angel funding, and it enables global and effective engagement. And it allows you as a startup or even the incubators, accelerators to be successful. So this is it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I just want to show you, because as you come out here and work, you can come down here like you did. You found, oh, that tells me I've got startups that have pitched that I haven't responded to. You can come down here, you found your event. This is another accelerator that's going on right now. This one is actually happening in the Silicon Valley. This is a service that 10X provides for companies to come in and go through the program. So they have a discussion on what that is. So you can come in here on Scale Up Stream and you can attend different events. So for example, let's see, where is it at here? Okay, here we go. Here's another one that's done by Human Media, which is part of Human Lab. They are another accelerator that's focused on Africa. And they're doing a class, Mastering the Africa Funding Ecosystem, a strategic guide. So I'd highly suggest all of you that are on here today, come out here and come to this. The other thing it allows you to do when you come to these meetings, I see that there's questions and answers. You should also, within the chat, get to know each other. It's all about networking and engaging together. And then you can all have the central common ground of being the accelerator. So you'll also see up here, there's startups. Those of you that are a startup, come up here and load your startup company. So if I come in here and search Africa, we have a variety of companies in here. I'm not sure how many we have now, but it's probably about 400 or so startups that are just focused out of Africa. So this list sort of keeps on going. So load yourself up in here. What that allows you to do is come out and reach out directly to an investor. You can simply click on that. If I'm a startup, I can come out here, and now I'm getting the questions specific to that startup. And as we get everybody involved, we go down here to, let me get out of here, go back here. As we come down here and go to incubators, then you can go straight here to Ashpot. So there's Ashpot Incubator. If you're not sure how to get a hold of Psalm, you can come down here. You can apply to this incubator. There you go. Go in here as a startup. And, you haven't done that startup doesn't have a paid plan. I can't apply to incubators yet. I was another startup. But I can come down here and now I can message. So I can send a message directly. Actually, it doesn't look like that's set up yet. But that's coming. That'll be coming. So as a startup, this is what Scale Up Stream is for. It allows you to connect with other people, other startups, and so forth. It's an engagement platform. Let me close this out, go back to here. And that is all I have on my part. So there we go. We can ask questions and go from there.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Gary. Thank you for that enlightening presentation. Yeah. So this is what I just want to put in. Please, if you have any question, you can drop them on the chat. You could just type in your question. I think we'll be able to see it in a in a couple of minutes, we'll be able to take the questions. So I just wanted to say something in addition to what Mr. Gary has said. As a startup, you need to
just come and knock my door like, hey, this are you testing an hour ago.
Please make sure you mute yourself.
So any sign of cough yourself. Now, so let me quickly go. Even I don't even know how I get inside the room.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. I think I will.
The hospital nearby our house. So
okay, so one of the things you should do is to one of the things you should do is to create a startup page if you have not done that on Scale Upstream. Yeah, create a startup page that will help you to be able to interact with other people. There are investors, there are incubator hubs. Now, as a startup, you know that one of the basic things, one of the things that becomes a problem is, capital, raising fund, investment, and all of that, getting in touch with investors. So as an accelerator program, one of the things we do for you is to make you investor ready. Because you could just have an idea, you could just have a thing you're building, but until you are investor ready, if you go talk to an investor, you may find out that you will not get the kind of response you're looking for. So one of the reasons why we are organizing this accelerator program is to have startups from various regions, and then we will train them on this 12-week program that will make them ready so that when it's time for the funding and everything, you'll be able to talk, and be able to present your idea in a way that it will be appealing to an investor who will actually go ahead. So the accelerator program is going to give you a lot of training and resources that will help you to become investor ready. So that when you get in touch with an investor, you will know what to say, and you'll be able to present your thoughts in an acceptable way. So I see we have one question here. This is from Yusuf. It says, is Scale Up all about technology? What about those of us in health and wellness company? Gary, I don't know if you would like to answer that. I'm trying to unmute, I think.
All right, am I okay? I'm good. I can talk now.
Yeah.
Scale Upstream is focused on innovation, not a market verticals. Its purpose is to put great ideas in the hands of the right people that can make a difference. So whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter. We have innovation from satellites all the way down to social apps to the next generation of investment, to you name it. It doesn't matter. There's no vertical. It's about innovation. It's about ideas.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So to help you more, Yusuf, I just want to say, you say you are in health and wellness company. So I don't know if what you mean is that you are into pharmaceutical, or you produce a medicine or what, or maybe you are a doctor. So that was not really very clear. But if what you mean is that you are, I think there are some groundbreaking innovations even in the field of medicine and health. Yeah, so things like that are the kind of things that Scale Upstream is about, just pushing innovation from where it's coming from to where it's needed. So there's no restriction, there's no verticals like Mr. Gary rightly pointed out. So feel free to come up with your innovative ideas. And the most important thing is to network, okay, so it talks about agriculture.
Absolutely. I would say that some of the primary core of the African community is going to be communications, mobile banking, agriculture. In fact, one of the very first investments that my South Valley Angels made was a company called Got Produce. About 7 years ago, they launched 2 commercial hydroponics greenhouses in Botswana. They produced the most amount of produce ever produced in one cycle in the history of Botswana. The president came and visited. She's now in Ghana. No, not Ghana. In where is she at? I have to think about it here in a second. And she now provides the. She's in Namibia. That's where she's at, and she provides most of the produce to the cruise ships, and they're just in the process of being the primary produce supplier to grocery stores in the region. So absolutely, agriculture is absolutely fits in that. In fact, I am located here in one of the largest agricultural communities in the world, which is called the Salinas Valley. It stretches from San Francisco to Los Angeles, about 365 miles of nothing but farmland. Yep, okay. Agriculture is big, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to give a chance to Vincent. I think it's raising up his hand. So let me see if I can just unmute him. Where is, okay, yeah. So Vincent, try to unmute yourself, see if you can do that. Yeah, I think you can talk now.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the work.
I think your network. Hello, your voice is shaking, Vincent.
Yeah.
No, we can hardly hear you.
See if he turns off his video. Have him turn off his video and see if that helps.
Can you turn off the video? Just use audio. Let's see if it gets better.
Okay.
Okay, try again.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Yeah, there.
Is it okay
better.
now?
That's better.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much. And thank you very much also, Mr. Jinx. My name is Vincent Odudu, the founder of Pangba Food on Wheels, KFW. At KFW, we are using mobile restaurant to serve healthy meals embedded with medical bills to help those without health insurance cover solve their out-of-pocket health expenditures. In collaboration with healthcare provider with a digital electronic health card for customers to access equitable healthcare services. Yeah. My question is for the 3 pathway that Mr. Gary listed, those of us in this platform, how are we going to get those assets in making our startup ready for funding?
That is from Psalm. He is your point of contact. Work through him, and that's your center. That is the center of your universe for ecosystem. They're right there.
Yeah. So, Mr. Vincent, I think I don't know. Did you apply for our accelerator program?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay, it's all right. It's okay. So, I think we'll be hitting back. We are performing our reviews, but my contact is also in the Telegram group that I created, so you can always chat me personally. I think the idea you're pushing forward is really very, very interesting. So we'll be able to see about that. That's not a problem. Okay.
Okay. And what are those criteria for selection for the acceleration program?
Yeah, we're going to make that available. It's going to be very open. We're going to make it available. We'll post it on the Telegram group because we are going to begin the selection immediately after the registration ends. The registration is ending on 1st of March. So we'll have like 1 week to review the application, and we are kicking off with the selected startups the following week. So you'll just be carried along the whole way, okay?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. You can just, so let me, I think Ruby is raising up her hand. Yeah, Ruby, try and unmute yourself. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Kalu. I
Yeah.
appreciate the presenter. It was really great presentation. It's just a brief one, but first and foremost, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce ourselves. We are into an innovative product,
Okay.
which is micro agriculture, and we aim to serve rural farmers across Africa by revolutionizing microbes in their farm fields to achieve better planets, and more food, quality food for exports. Yes, thank you for that. I've seen as Gary was navigating on the different accelerator and programs, I can see that some are free. And knowing that startups in Africa, including us, even though we have the experience, but we are bridging that between new and experienced. Sometimes, getting into accelerator programs is also not easy.
Yeah.
So, is there any like a way how those paid programs, which I think are more interesting on the level where we are, that can be free or something like a grant that it will eventually become free for us that are interested to key into that. Yes, we are actually we already have an MVP and we believe that we're ready to scale and we have sent some pitches to some investors, though we feel that we need to be more guided how to do it better, how to do it right, so that we achieve our funding goals.
Now, let me answer from Scale Up Stream, and then I'll let Khulud answer on his side for Ashpot. Everything on Scale Up Stream is free, unless you specifically want to reach out and click on one of those buttons that says apply to an investor.
Mm-hmm.
So other than that, everything's free. And that's why I say once you set up your page, then you can come out, you can go to events. So for example, every Monday evening and every other Thursday, we have an open pitch. So anybody can come pitch. And I'm generally the host of that. And so you can come and pitch to me. I will give you feedback. We'll follow up with that, and then I can provide information back to that. And then as the Ashpot is rolling things out, that's their purpose in life, is to create programs that you can get involved with. So I will probably be helping on the accelerator program that he's putting together.
Mm.
I will be that. I know we have another individual who's one of our partners that I introduced to him. Her name is Maria. She's from South Africa. She's located here in the Silicon Valley. She's a partner for a company called Unicorn Capital, and she has 250 investors in Africa.
Oh, that's fantastic, Gary. Thank you so much.
So we're bringing it all together.
Great to be here.
Ashpot, in no time at all, Ashpot will be the place you want to be at in Nigeria.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ruby, for that contribution. So I think I've also shared the Telegram link for those who are asking for it. If you join the Telegram, you could get my contact in case you want to reach out to me personally. And I think this has been an awesome time. I just want to say something that Gary mentioned, Maria. Yeah, Maria will also be working with us in this accelerator program. She's even going to be taking up one of the sessions during the program. And she has over 250 investors working with her, and they're focused in Africa at the moment. So I want to let you know that being a part of this program, we hope is going to be a game changer. And for those who are already possibly in some, like people like Ruby, who have Also, at some certain stage, I see some of the things she wrote here about products. So people like that, like Gary said, there are a lot of other opportunities. So all you just want to do is to be in contact and be a part of the network. We're trying to build something that's going to connect everybody and help everybody to achieve their dreams. So we are creating a very strong ecosystem, and Gary and his team are really doing a lot. There are a lot of other people that we are going to be introduced to as we go on in the program. So I really wish everybody good luck. If you eventually end up being selected for the program, I hope you will get the best out of it, and hopefully I want to see you bring your successful ideas and make your mark in the world. So I don't think there's any other questions. I just want to thank everybody for being a part of the program. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Mr. Gary, for making out the time. I know it's still very early in the morning for you.
It is. That's okay. I got my coffee. I'm good to go here. It is it's now 8:43 a.m. So yes, it's still a little early in the morning, but I would like to, thank everybody for showing up, taking the initiative to come out here. The idea is to take control of your destiny, stay engaged, and this is all right.
Okay. All right. So I think I can end the meeting right now. It's been a pleasure meeting everybody. Thank you, Mr. Gary, once again. Thank you for everybody who contributed with their question and for being here. So just keep in touch. You're going to be hearing from us as we're making the selections for those who are going to participate in the letter program. So from us here, I say thank you so much. I hope to see you all soon enough. Thank you so much.
Goodbye, everyone.
Yeah.